All right, so in terms of muddying the waters, the second half of that same document, reporter outreach, the tactics. These are the tactics that they outline to accomplish their goals. Working with the DNC and allied groups, we would use several different methods to land these attacks, including, number one, reporter outreach. Working through the DNC and others, we should use background briefings, prep with reporters for interviews with GOP candidates, off-the-record conversations, and opposition pitches to help pitch stories with no fingerprints and utilize reporters to drive a message. Let me read that last part again. I think you missed it. We will use off-the-record conversations and oppo pitches to help pitch stories with no fingerprints and utilize reporters to drive a message. Here's the problem with this. This is standard operating procedures, what you do against your political rival. The problem is this is the exact technique that was used against Bernie Sanders. And seeing as though the DNC was already planning this before the primaries even began good, it suggests everything that we suspected all along, that the DNC was in the tank for Hillary Clinton because of all of the loyalty in the top ranks, including the chairwoman, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, I have to give a shout out to Alexander the Meh on Twitter, because once he saw this, opposition research pitches to help pitch stories to reporters with no fingerprints and utilize reporters to drive a message. When Alexander the Mess on Twitter saw this, he reminded everyone of this tweet from Olivia Nuzzi, where she said, maybe I would buy into the Bernie Bros narrative more if I hadn't been pitched the story about Bernie Bros by Hillary's camp. These tactics were used the entire time against Bernie Sanders and his camp. They would have been used against Martin O'Malley if Martin O'Malley lasted more than, a few months, right? But this is what Hillary Clinton's team has been doing against Bernie Sanders. This is what the DNC has been doing against Bernie Sanders, and it was outlined in May of 2015, over a year ago, before the primaries even began good. So for everyone who's crying and saying, "Oh, Bernie Sanders isn't a good Democrat," why would he be a good Democrat when the Democrats were not good to him? Why would he be a good Democrat and fall in line when the DNC has been colluding with Hillary Clinton's camp since day one, not just on strategy and tactics, but also on fundraising? Go back to the video that I did a few months ago about Hillary Fund for America, or Hillary for America, and their joint fundraising efforts with the DNC and I believe 31 state Democratic parties. And see how when the expectation was that only 1% of $30,000 raised by big donors would go to Hillary Clinton, over 60% ended up going to Hillary Clinton. Go back and take a look at that. All right, so this is all released, and apparently this is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot more turned over that has already been turned over to WikiLeaks, and WikiLeaks said that they're going to turn over more in the days to come. This is an insane election season. Because to be honest with you, the only way, you have people who love Hillary Clinton no matter what, before a lot of the rest of America, the only way they even look at Hillary Clinton for a moment is because Donald Trump is so asinine and so obscene and absurd.